Enter stillness, discover the depth of inner peace through a guided meditation into stillness. We begin this journey not as strangers to one another, but as seekers bound by the same longing to touch the stillness that resides within. A stillness that speaks not in words, but in the language of silence. I invite you now to join me, not as an observer, but as a participant in this unfolding experience. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or let them rest softly on the screen. Either way, let your awareness begin to soften, like a feather settling upon the ground. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Now exhale slowly, as though you're releasing not just air, but tension, doubt, and distraction. What remains in the wake of that exhale? A quieter self, or perhaps just the hint of one. We often speak of peace as if it's something to be acquired, a destination at the end of a long journey. But what if peace isn't a destination at all? What if it's the ground beneath our feet, hidden beneath the noise and clutter of everyday life? Ask yourself this: if all my thoughts were to pause, even for a moment, who would I be? I encourage you now to tune into the rhythm of your breath. Not to control it, but to notice it. The breath is the bridge between the conscious and the unconscious, between the world you perceive and the stillness that perceives it. As you observe your breath, do you notice its texture changing? Is it hesitant or calm? Shallow or deep? The breath has no agenda, no need for validation, it simply is. Can we learn to be the same? When you feel your mind wandering, as it inevitably will, gently bring it back. This act of returning is not a failure but a triumph. Each return is a step closer to the stillness within you. In this space of quiet observation, the judgments of the mind begin to fade. You are no longer the one who thinks, but the one who watches thought. Here's a question for you: if I am not my thoughts, then what am I? In this inquiry lies a profound secret, one that sages and seekers across time have discovered. The stillness within you is not an absence of thought or feeling, it's the vast space in which thought and feeling arise. To touch this stillness is to touch eternity. The journey into stillness, however, is not without its challenges. Distractions will call to you like sirens, tempting you to abandon this inward voyage. But the power of stillness lies in its quiet persistence. You don't fight distractions, you let them pass like clouds across a vast sky. Can you see your distractions not as enemies, but as teachers? Each one invites you to deepen your focus, to strengthen your resolve. Now, take another deep breath. This time, hold it a little longer. As you exhale, imagine releasing not just the breath but the weight of needing to achieve or perform. In this space, there's nothing to achieve. There's only the act of being. Ask yourself, when was the last time I truly just existed, without needing to do, fix, or change anything? As we dwell in this question, we realize something profound: the stillness we seek has always been here, waiting patiently beneath the noise of our lives. It is not separate from us, it is us. To enter stillness is not to become something new but to remember what you've always been. Now, I leave you with this thought as we prepare for the next part of our journey: what if the depth of inner peace you seek is not in the stillness itself, but in your willingness to embrace it? The Infinite Mirror, exploring the nature of consciousness through stillness. As we continue this journey into stillness, let us linger on the realization we touched upon earlier: stillness is not something we create but something we uncover. It is the infinite mirror of consciousness, reflecting everything without judgment or attachment. This mirror doesn't choose what it reflects, it simply is. Now, let me ask you, What would happen if you allowed yourself to see everything within you as it truly is? Without distortion or fear. Begin by closing your eyes. If you haven't already. Let the breath guide you once more. Each inhale invites you to expand. And each exhale encourages you to release. Notice the sensations in your body, the warmth, the coolness, the subtle vibrations. These sensations are not obstacles, they are gateways. Can you feel the aliveness in your hands? Your feet? Your chest? Who is it that feels this aliveness? As you dwell in this question, you might notice a subtle shift. The more you pay attention, the more expansive your awareness becomes. It's as though you are stepping back from the stage of your thoughts, watching the play unfold. The characters of worry, desire, regret, and hope come and go. But you remain the silent witness. Here lies a paradox: you are both the audience and the stage. The stillness within you is not separate from the movement of life. It holds the waves of emotion, thought, and sensation, just as the ocean holds the waves upon its surface. Can you sense this vastness within yourself? And if so, does it frighten you? Or does it set you free? Now, let us deepen our inquiry. Turn your attention inward, toward the one who is aware. You are aware of your breath, your thoughts, and the sound of my voice. But who is this I that is aware? Ask yourself, am I the thinker of my thoughts? Or am I the awareness in which thought arises? Take your time with this question. Do not rush to an answer. For the answer is not in words. It is in the experience itself, the direct realization of your nature. As you dwell in this space, you might notice something unexpected. The quieter your mind becomes, the more vibrant the world around you appears. Colors seem richer, sounds more resonant, and sensations more vivid. This is the paradox of stillness. By turning inward, you open yourself to the fullness of life. Let us pause here for a moment and reflect. If my thoughts, emotions, and sensations are like waves on the surface of a vast ocean, what lies beneath the surface? In this question lies a profound mystery. The deeper we go, the more we realize that beneath the surface lies a stillness so vast and so timeless that it cannot be grasped by the mind. This stillness is not just within you, it is the very ground of being itself. Now, take a moment to breathe deeply. Inhale slowly and hold it. As you exhale, let go of any need to understand or control. Let yourself simply be. What do you notice in this moment? Perhaps a subtle sense of peace. Or perhaps the mind still chatters. Whatever arises, let it be. There is no right or wrong way to experience stillness, there is only your way. As we move further into this journey, let us consider the nature of time. We often think of time as linear, moving from past to future. But in stillness, time begins to dissolve. The past is but a memory, and the future is but a projection. All that remains is this moment, infinite and eternal. Ask yourself, if I am fully present now, what power does the past or future hold over me? In this realization, there is great freedom. You are not bound by your past, nor are you enslaved by your future. You are free to be exactly as you are, here and now. This freedom is not something you earn, it is your birthright. And yet, how often do we forget it? How often do we trade this freedom for the illusion of control? As we close this part of the journey, I invite you to reflect on one final question. What if the stillness you seek is not something you enter, but something you are? Take your time with this question. Let it settle into your heart. Not as a problem to be solved, but as a truth to be lived. And as you dwell in this truth, prepare yourself for the next part of our journey, a journey into the heart of stillness itself. The eternal heartbeat, finding unity in the rhythm of stillness. As we journey deeper into stillness, we begin to hear something extraordinary, not with our ears, but with the heart. It is a rhythm. Soft yet powerful. Unchanging yet dynamic. It is the eternal heartbeat of existence. A subtle pulse that unites all things. This rhythm does not come from outside, it arises from within. But how often do we listen? And even more profoundly, what happens when we realize this rhythm is not separate from us, but is us? Close your eyes again. If they are not already closed, take a moment to listen. Not to the sounds around you, but to the silence between those sounds. Can you feel the stillness wrapping itself around every vibration, every movement? This stillness is not empty, it is alive. It holds within it the rhythm of your breath, the beat of your heart, the pulse of the universe itself. As you tune into this rhythm, notice how it feels. Is it steady or erratic? Does it soothe you? Or does it stir something deep within you? Whatever you feel, let it be. The eternal heartbeat does not demand anything from you, it simply invites you to remember. To remember what? That you are not separate from life, you are life itself. Now let us go deeper. Place your attention on your heartbeat. You might feel it in your chest, or perhaps as a soft pulse in your wrists or temples. Wherever you sense it, focus on it. This heartbeat is not just yours, it is a gift from the stillness that animates all things. Ask yourself, if my heart beats without my effort, what else in my life is happening effortlessly, guided by the same stillness? In this inquiry, we begin to see the unity of all things. The rhythm of your heart mirrors the rhythm of the tides, the cycle of the seasons, the orbit of the planets. These rhythms are not separate, they are echoes of the same eternal pulse. And yet, how often do we fight against this natural flow? How often do we try to control what is meant to unfold on its own? Take a deep breath now. And as you exhale, imagine releasing all resistance. Let go of the need to fight the current. Allow yourself to flow with the rhythm of life, trusting that it knows the way. How does it feel to surrender in this way? Does it scare you? Or does it set you free? Here's a question for you to ponder deeply: if I am one with the rhythm of life, can I ever truly be lost? In this realization lies a profound truth. To feel lost is to believe in separation. But the rhythm of stillness reminds us that separation is an illusion. You are never truly alone, for you are always connected to the whole. The same stillness that beats within your heart beats within mine, and within every being, everywhere. In this shared rhythm, we find unity. But unity is not the absence of difference, it is the harmony of diversity. Just as a symphony is made up of many instruments, each playing its own part, life is a symphony of infinite rhythms. Your heartbeat, your breath, your thoughts, and emotions, they are all part of this grand composition. Can you embrace your role in this symphony, without wishing to be something else? As we sit with this question, let us turn our attention once more to stillness. This time, not as an abstract concept, but as a living reality. Stillness is not something we enter, it is something we embody. Every step you take, every word you speak, can arise from this stillness. But how? By listening to the rhythm beneath the noise, the silence beneath the sound. Take a moment now to breathe deeply again. With each inhale, feel yourself connecting more deeply to the rhythm of stillness. With each exhale, feel yourself letting go of everything that is not aligned with that rhythm. What remains is not emptiness, but fullness, a fullness that is your true nature. And now, a final question to carry with you as we close this part of the journey. If I lived my life fully attuned to the eternal heartbeat, what would change? Let this question guide you, not as a task to complete, but as an invitation to live more deeply. To live in stillness is not to escape life but to embrace it in its entirety. It is to find unity in every moment, every breath, every heartbeat. As we conclude, let us sit in silence together for just a moment longer. Feel the stillness within you, around you, and beyond you. And as you open your eyes, carry this stillness with you, knowing that it is not something you leave behind, it is something you are.